Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with some more geography. Now we're on to St. Kitts and Nevis. Uh, no idea. I'm guessing these are islands. I think so. So find out. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into this, guys. Before you, please hit that like and subscribe button below, please and thank you. And yeah, let's jump into this. Dun dun dun. Load screen load. There you go. 3, 2, 1, bam.
Hey guys, so on this channel, the Caribbean countries usually get the least amount of views and they're kind of pushed off to the side with minimal anticipation because everyone thinks the Caribbean nations are all the same. So you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go to this country. I'm gonna get good footage, interview the people, and put them in the spotlight. We are covering the Caribbean triplets, the Saints. And today we cover the smallest nation in the Americas, St. Kitts and Nevis. What makes this country different from all the others? Well, for one, they have drunken monkeys that fight each other. But you gotta watch this episode to find out.
It's time to learn geography now!
St. Kitts and Nevis. I had the honor of meeting you guys, the geography peeps from this area. You helped me with this video. And by the way, if you go there, hit up my girl Lynette. She's got an awesome company.
Welcome to St. Kitts.
What do we got here?
You have Lynn Taxi Service.
She has her own business. That's her on the card.
This is a country that everyone should know about, but the locals kind of don't want you to know about them yet. It likes keeping a low profile for now. Reason being because, well, it's kind of like...
Whoa, it's a little cheaper than the other islands here and way less crowded.
Whoa, people live in converted windmills here? That's pretty cool.
Wait, Beyonce and Mick Jagger were here last week? Why were they here?
Oh, look at the cute little train!
God.
Give it to me! No, I want it! Give
Give
it! Yeah, St. Kitts has a lot of secrets that they don't want too many people to know about. And I'm about to expose some of them. Sorry.
Here we go.
It's time to learn geography now!
Now, if you come to this country, you'll notice that everything in St. Kitts and Nevis is kind of improvised and capitalized off of. I mean, even the name of the country is kind of like a choppy English bastardization of Spanish words. It literally was like...
Okay, so what should we name this country?
Well, Christopher Columbus first named them San Cristobal and Nuestra Señora de las Nieves. But, you know, we're British, so forget the whole Spanish thing.
So what do we name them?
St. Christopher Kitts, St. Kitts. And for the other one, Nevis. There we go. St. Kitts and Nevis.
Weird way to get there then,
Wow,
but it's official.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how they got their name. Anyway, first of all, St. Kitts and Nevis is located in the Caribbean, and more specifically in the region known as the Lesser Antilles, which is basically all the small islands of the archipelago past Puerto Rico. It is also located in the sub-region of the Leeward Islands, which is basically all the small islands north of Dominica. Their closest neighbor being the Dutch Overseas Department of St. Eustatius, or Statia, only about 15 miles or 25 kilometers northwest, at only about 101 square miles in total land area. It is the smallest sovereign state in the Americas and the Western Hemisphere. The country is a dual federation made up of St. Kitts, the larger of the two islands, shaped like a drumstick, which has its own prime minister, and Nevis, only about 2 miles away, which has its own premier. The country is divided further into 14 parishes, 9 on St. Kitts and 5 on Nevis, with the capital and largest town, with about 16,000 people, Basse-Terre, located in the southern pocket of St. Kitts. Otherwise, Cayenne, a bit north, is the second largest town with only about 3,000 people. The country has one main international airport, Robert L. Bradshaw International, just above Basse-Terre, and Nevis Island has the second, Vance W. Amory International, which operates mostly private and seasonal charter flights from nearby islands. Each island has its own ring road that essentially traces the entire perimeter of the coasts, but if you look at St. Kitts, they actually have this long, narrow stretch known as the peninsula that extends into a bowl-shaped landmass at the end. At less than 10 kilometers long and only a fifth of a mile wide, or a third of a kilometer, this narrow part with a road passing is disputably the world's smallest and narrowest isthmus. At the top of Timothy Hill, you get the best view where the Atlantic and Caribbean Sea meet. Don't swim on the Atlantic side though, the riptide is way too strong and it will probably kill you. Anyway, in addition, St. Kitts also has a railway. Yeah, a long time ago it was used for sugarcane transportation,
That's cool.
but now it's used for tourism. 3-hour-long guided ride starts in Connery Village, close to the airport, with fun stops along the way and ends in Sandy Point, about 18 miles away. Fun fact, the country just...
That seems like a great idea, like a 3-hour kind of tour, and they fun stops, and so you ain't gotta worry about driving yourself or like them taking a bus. You actually get to drive on a train. Sounds like a fun day out to me.
with fun stops along the way and ends in Sandy Point about 18 miles away. Fun fact, the country just got their first streetlights in 2018 with a whopping 3 in Basse-Terre. In addition, the country also has a plethora of interesting sounding town names like Hard Times, Brick Kiln, Canada, Monkey Hill, Gingerland.
Canada.
Did somebody say Gingerland?
The only major islet the country owns is Booby Island, which has booby birds, and as the locals will clearly point out, kinda looks like a boob. And then there's, I kid you not, Bay. Fun fact, despite their small size, St. Kitts can handle a lot of sea vessel transport. Regular cargo ships and ferries between St. Kitts and Nevis dock between Basse-Terre Port, and Port Zante is in charge of berthing all the large cruise ships. In fact, they can host up to 3 Oasis-class cruise ships at once, making them the smallest country in the world capable of this massive feat of engineering. In any case, some of the top notable spots to check out in case if you decide to visit include Romney Manor Rum Distillery and the Petroglyphs, the St. Kitts Chocolate Factory, the National Museum, the Carabel Batik Works, Independence Square, the Berkeley Memorial, St. George's Anglican Church, the Eco Park, the Botanical Gardens of Nevis,
Cool.
Alexander Hamilton's birthplace, the tomb of Sir Thomas Warner, Bloody River, Cottle Church, and the top most famous notable site probably being Brimstone Hill Fortress, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In addition, though, there are tons of natural sites as well, like
I gotta pause that. You guys know I like fortresses and castles. That is cool, man. I love that kind of stuff. I would definitely visit there. I would definitely go there if I visited.
Fortress, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In addition, though, there are tons of natural sites as well, like the Black Rocks on the north side. Nevis has these cool hot springs, but we'll discuss all that later in... The Kalinago natives of this country called the island of St. Kitts La Amiga, which means fertile land, and Nevis was called Uali, or the land of clear water. Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. The country is located on the Caribbean plate in the sub-region known as the Antillean Arc, which converges into the North American plate. This is why multiple islands in this part of the Caribbean are still actively volcanic or have geothermal activity, St. Kitts and Nevis being one of them. Essentially, both islands are tropical, and the entire length of St. Kitts has a mountain spine, with the highest peak being Mount La Amiga, a dormant volcano on the northwest side. Hidden at the top, it has a small geothermally heated crater lake at the summit. Nevis Island, on the other hand, has Nevis Peak, which is almost always covered in clouds year-round, which is where it's got its name, the Spanish word nieves, or
That's
snow,
cool.
alluding to the white on top. Out of both islands, Nevis is the more geothermally active one, with hot springs near Charlestown. Many small creeks and 2 major rivers flow out of these mountain chains, including the 2 longest and only permanent rivers, the Cayon and Wingfield rivers. The country has many small ponds, but the greatest inland body of water is the Great Salt Pond at the tip of the southeast peninsula. Otherwise, generally, the west part of the country is more lush and wet, as they get around 60 inches of rain a year, whereas the further east you go on St. Kitts, it is a little more dry with only about 16 inches of rain annually, and you see some cacti plants along the peninsula. Otherwise, the Narrows is the space of water dividing the 2 islands, which has the choppiest waves. The reason being because if you zoom out, this is essentially the point where the warm Gulf Stream converges into the colder Atlantic jet stream, meaning that most of the waves on the north side of the island are bigger and crazier, whereas the South Caribbean side is more tame and docile. Yeah, my favorite place is Shipwreck Beach. It's like the calmest place ever with a great view of Nevis in the background. Go to Shipwreck. I love that place. And speaking of calm, it's time for my triple shot of espresso break, which means Noah comes in for the rest of the segment.
I think you need to clean that mug out.
Nice.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, either way, you can get a Geography Now mug at geographynow.com.
St. Kitts and Nevis is a tropical island nation in a warm climate that has an abundance of rain. In fact, almost daily you will get short 5-ish minute spurts of rain from large cumulus clouds that hover in clusters all over different parts of the island. It's like...
How's it going over there in Nevis? A little wet, I see?
I don't know. You tell me.
That could be perfect though. Like just say like 5-minute spurts of rain. Like come on, if you're going there in the summer on the beach, like just enough to cool you down, and then it's on its way. So you know it's not going to ruin your day because you know it's just going to be there for a short period. So.
How's it going over there in Sandy Point?
For much of its early history, St. Kitts and Nevis was a major producer of sugarcane. In fact, the nickname of St. Kitts is Sugar City, and for Nevis, Queen City, as at one point they were the richest British crown colonies. Since the 70s, however, the sugar industry has faded, and even though about 40% of the land is devoted to crops, the agriculture industry only makes about 11% of exports. You can still see remnants of the former sugar industry with converted mills, now serving as restaurants, hotels, and homes, and massive copper bowls used for molasses production scattered all throughout the islands. This means that most major food and branded products are imported. However, most families also have home gardens and fruit trees. Today, the service sector employs a majority of the population at over 70%, mostly in high-end tourism, especially from sea-bound cruise ships. Also, fun fact, the lignum vitae tree known as the ironwood is grown here. It is an endemic tree species with wood that is so dense and strong, it is one of the few types that actually sinks in water. And speaking of nature, St. Kitts has quite a unique structure when it comes to animal species. And to discuss that, here's our favorite animal correspondent, Caleb. Oh, wait a second. You're not Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb's filming a documentary. He's busy today. This is the best we got. Jason, take it away.
When visiting.
I just want to say, like, I guess, you know how they want to keep it secret. Well, I guess with all these, you know, cruise ships heading there, I mean, it's not going to be kept much of a secret for long, since, you know, the more cruise ships that go there, the more the word gets out. And definitely now with this video, I guess expect a lot more tourism there, but like, you gotta say not yet. Like, it's just the infrastructure just not built for a lot more, because obviously a lot of people there probably count on the tourism, you know, for their, you know, for jobs and stuff. But yeah, it definitely seems like a cool little spot so far.
Caleb's filming a documentary. He's busy today. This is the best we got. Jason, take it away.
When visiting St. Kitts and Nevis. No, I'm not gonna do the accent, sorry. You'll notice a lot of goats, sheep, and donkey wandering around. Nonetheless, the country is a bird haven with over 200 species found, like the Antillean-crested hummingbird, the yellow warbler, the green heron, the national animal, the brown pelican, and of course, the country has beautiful reefs containing marine species, ranging from spinner dolphins, hawksbill turtles, angelfish, spiny lobster, and the most endemic species, the flamingo-tongued cowrie. The most famous animal, though, is probably the vervet monkey. Brought over by the French in the 17th century, they multiplied there, and there are now more monkeys than people on the island. Fun fact, the monkeys are famous for getting drunk and stumbling after stealing drinks from the tourists. Often, they even fight each other and pass out after having one too many.
Those monkeys will never steal my drink. Buy a mug at
That's
geographynow.com.
funny.
Back to you, Noah.
Thank you. And speaking of things that are consumed, food. Some of the top notable dishes from St. Kitts and Nevis include goat water, black pudding, spicy plantains, seasoned breadfruit, coconut dumplings, guava cheese, conch fritters, gooseberry jam, sugar cakes, coconut fudge.
This is the killer bee. You have to drink that in these. Cheers.
I'll feel it maybe in 5 minutes.
And the national dish, stewed saltfish, which is actually usually only sold in public on the weekends or special occasions. Fortunately, the people here have lots of special occasions, which will be explained in...
Demographic.
Thank you, Noah.
You're welcome.
Get a mug at geographynow.com. So first off, the people here are called Kittitians and Nevisians, like Vision. But if you're my buddy from here, full disclosure, I'm just gonna call you a kitty. Anywho, now we've already explained how the islands of the Caribbean have their own unique trait that sets them apart from the others. So what is St. Kitts? Well, for one, St. Kitts is often referred to as the mother colony, as it was the first place to be colonized by the British and the French. It's the smallest country, yet it kind of starts everything and takes the biggest risks. They're kind of brave. They know that they're small, but they have nothing to lose, so it's like, hey, let's build massive ocean liner ports and luxury villas to compete with the countries in 10 times our size. Anyway, here's the demographics graph. The country is made up of about 54,000 people, about 3/4 of whom live on St. Kitts, and the remaining quarter live on Nevis. The country is predominantly Afro-Caribbean at about 92% of the population. Another 2.2 is mixed biracially, mostly between blacks and whites. About 2.2 are European whites, mostly from the UK, and about 1% are East Indians. And the rest are other people groups, mostly Asians and Middle Easterners. And it's important to note that today, less than 20 people that are actually descended from Native Amerindians live in the country. They use the East Caribbean dollar as their currency. However, they do accept US dollars, but just keep in mind they will most likely give you back change in East Caribbean money. They use the American style A and B plug outlets, and they drive on the left side of the road, as they were once a British colony. English is the official language, and they speak with a soft Caribbean accent, no thick patois like Jamaican. Here's an example.
St. Kitts is a little dot on the world map, but we are a fabulous place to visit. So whenever you're ready, come on down to St. Kitts and have a nice vacation here with us.
So it makes me really proud to be Kittitian.
Does she have a geography now badge on her chest? Like on her left side of her shirt?
And have a nice vacation here with us.
So it makes me
I said
really
I showed it
proud
earlier.
to be Kittitian. We're small, but we're large.
Now you have to understand, even though this is one country, there still is a slight difference between what it means to be Kittitian and Nevisian. Here's some of you guys explaining.
Kittitians tend to be pushing more towards, things towards the future, while Nevisians are more focusing, like with the preservation of their history and their past.
Nevisian people, more laid-back people. Nevisians have lots of pride. They don't appreciate, like if you try to shorten the name of the country and you say St. Kitts alone, they don't appreciate it at all.
Explain how you feel when you say you are Nevisian.
Oh, I love it. I really do. I've actually been called, I'm a black lady in a white skin.
And it's very quiet and relaxed.
It is so quiet.
Yeah.
But if you went over to St. Kitts and you went to the Marriott and places like that, they'd all be very busy.
Yeah, long story short, St. Kitts is the hustle-bustle island and Nevis is like the chill, let's just take a nap island. One controversial issue the nation deals with, though, would have to be the Golden Visa, or the Citizenship by Investment program. What exactly is this? Well, it's kind of like this.
I'm a small country with a small economy and nobody pays attention to me. How can I make money fast and get attention quickly?
Hello there! I'm from, fill in the blank with country that has controversial relations with the Western world or NATO allied countries. I hear you need money!
Why, yes I do.
I'm an individual who has lots of money, and I see you guys have been very diplomatically level-headed and have the 26th most powerful passport in the world, which has access to certain places I do not.
Well, yes I do have that. What if there was a way you could, do some good things for my country and help develop it, and in return I had a policy that made it easy for you to, maybe get residency or something?
A little more.
Citizenship?
That's great! Let's start construction on this new hotel you've been working on.
All right, construction is moving along. That's good. Here's your passport.
Thanks! And actually, I think I'll stop construction for now.
Why?
I'm kind of bored with this, and all I really needed was this passport.
Are you for real, dude? You're just gonna abandon this half-finished building? I mean, at least give it back if you're not gonna do anything with it.
Sure, for 3 times the price I bought it for. Otherwise, don't touch it. As a citizen, it's my private property.
Oh, you little
Yeah, this is probably the biggest controversy, which has led to many residents demanding a reform in real estate policy. Aside from that Oscar-worthy skit we just did, St. Kitts is a
I'm just curious, how often does that happen there? Do people who live there, is there a bunch of abandoned hotels or other kind of buildings just sitting there because of things like that? That's messed up.
residents demanding a reform in real estate policy. Aside from that Oscar-worthy skit we just did, St. Kitts is a nation flourishing in tradition and customs. And with that, here's Random Hannah to explain.
It's me, Hannah. I started working out and,
God,
and
is
I
nobody
started-
here for
I'm
their
a man
segment?
now.
Fine, Art, take over.
Okay.
Jeez.
It's important to note that originally the islands were inhabited by native Kalinago people that were found on various islands in the Caribbean. Known for their warriors and herbal medicinal practices, the Kalinago were found scattered across much of the Caribbean as far as South America. Oh, yeah, hey, sorry guys. So this is my son, Mikael, and my wife, Raina, is a little too shy to come on camera. You want to say hi? No, you're too shy. You're too shy? All right. So we should get back to the video, right? Okay. Much of the architecture follows a colorful neoclassic 19th century colonial style with wood and stone exteriors, usually with wooden window panels to protect from high winds. Most people on the island are Christian, with the Anglican branch being the largest denomination with about 1/5 of the population adhering to it. Cricket is probably the most popular sport in the country. The largest stadium in the country, Warner Park, was deliberately built as a cricket pitch, but can also be converted for soccer or football. In March, they have a cross-channel swim in which people swim the 2-mile wide channel between two islands to raise money for turtle conversation. Conversation. Yeah, turtle conversations.
I would totally join in on that swim. I think it'd be cool. How are sharks, how active are sharks in that area? I'd be in the middle of the pack probably, if I did it.
Turtles talking, it's very important for the world. Turtle conservation. The country is also famous for its batik cloth, specifically produced at Carabel Batik at Romney Manor. And speaking of which, St. Kitts and Nevis is well known for their festivals. The two largest probably being the Culturama Festival on Nevis, dressed up characters like Moko Jumbies, clowns, and masquerades. And the most popular one being Carnival, which is unlike other countries, actually happens during Christmas, not
not during Lent. It's the largest celebration, and lots of music is played during the 2-week-long event.
Cool.
And speaking of music, that brings us to Mr. Florida Man Keith.
Alright, so you guys, I'm wearing an Opeth shirt, all-time favorite progressive metal bands. Due to fair use laws, please don't sue us because you guys are awesome and I love you, and that's my commentary, yeah, woo! Okay. Music is a huge part of the everyday life in St. Kitts and Nevis. The two main genres that dominate almost every single festival and celebration would have to be calypso and soca. Calypso is known for its slower pace, steel drums, and social commentary and lyrics. During the calypso competitions, the winner is crowned and given the title of king or queen. Soca, on the other hand, is a little more up-tempo, usually accompanied by cajon and a bass. Often you will hear soca being blasted on speakers during parades and parties. Today, so many national and regional festivals exist, and the largest one in the last week of June being the St. Kitts Music Festival that features artists from all over the world. Thank you, I'm Keith, and that is...
Thank you, Keith. And with that, it's time for the incredibly condensed history segment. In the quickest way I can summarize, native Carib and Kalinago settlements. Christopher Columbus spots the islands. About 130 years later, the British come in and make their first colony. Soon the French follow after. Many natives were killed. Nevis colony established. The French relinquished their claim. They join Anguilla as a British dependency. Self-governing member of the West Indies Associated States. Anguilla splits as a dependency, stays with the UK. Independence. Nevis almost tries to break away as independent, but it doesn't pass. Government closes the sugar industry officially in 2005. They highly switched things up to tourism, and here we are today. Some top notable people from St. Kitts and Nevis include Kennedy Simmons, Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, all these cricket players, a ton of famous sprinters, but the most famous one probably being Kim Collins. He has a highway named after him. Keith Kayamba Gums, Atiba Harris, Livingstone Bramble, John Gorey, Joan Armatrading, Cecily Tyson, Carol Phillips. Mel B's father was from Nevis. Lady LeSure, Corinne Bailey Ray, Alexander Hamilton was born in Nevis. Anyway, as you can see, St. Kitts and Nevis has a lot of history intertwined with British and a little bit of French and a lot of Caribbean. Let's see how they make their way around the world stage in... St. Kitts and Nevis is small, yet knows how to stay alive and relevant. They're like the motivator of the Caribbean. It's like, hey, St. Kitts and Nevis is doing what now? Well, if they can do it, so can we. For one, the UK has kept relatively close ties even after independence. It is very easy for UK residents to move, buy land, live, and eventually file for residency and eventually citizenship to St. Kitts and Nevis. There are also lots of Kittitian migrants in the UK, especially in Liverpool. For the Dominican Republic, many Kittitians went to find work in the early 20s and 30s, especially in the town of San Pedro de Macorís. Today, the two countries work closely and have good trade and business, especially for imports. The USA and Canada are of course the largest business partners and contributors to the tourism industry. Americans make up a majority of cruise ship passengers, usually departing from Miami or Puerto Rico. There was a little bit of drama with Canada, though, after an incident with an individual that caused problems after entering Canada through the Citizenship by Investment program, which caused Canada to change their visa policy on Kittitian citizens. Still, they are overall cool with each other. In terms of their best friends, though, most Kittitian and Nevisian geographers I have talked to have said usually one of three options: Antigua and Barbuda, the UK overseas territory of Anguilla, and Taiwan. Taiwan donates a lot of money and completed project investments in St. Kitts and Nevis, including the cricket stadium, and there's even an entire eco park which has the flags of the two states in front of it to show the friendship. In return, St. Kitts and Nevis recognizes their sovereignty over the People's Republic of China. The Taiwanese military personnel serve deployments in St. Kitts and Nevis regularly, and the two get along pretty well. Antigua and Barbuda and the UK overseas territory of Anguilla are usually the closest family, though. All are former British colonies lumped together as the Leeward Islands colony. They are the best rivals in sport and tourism. Lots of interconnecting flights operate between them. Many have families in each other's nations and islands, and if anything happens, these three know they can depend on each other. In conclusion, St. Kitts may be the smallest of the Western Hemisphere, but it has the heart of an Oasis-class cruise liner. Massive, accommodating, high-end, and aesthetically pleasing. Stay tuned, the second sister triplet, St. Lucia, is coming up next.
Well, there you have it. Woo! Seems like an awesome, fun little country, to go to. Got some sights to see, got some beaches, got some festivals, got a stadium that you can watch some cricket in or some soccer, and I'm sure you guys probably had like little concerts and stuff there too. I bet, huh? I bet that little stadium. Well, it's probably pretty big by, I guess, the population wise, of you guys, but St. Kitts and Nevis, definitely For a second, I thought they're just doing 2 countries, you know, in one video there, but no, it's all one country. So that's, you know, your guys are all together, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully, you know, the whole, you know, be cool. Some of those projects get finished, you know, stuff like that, you know, from the people coming over. It's like, hey, you got to finish that up before you get your passport or something like that. But yeah, cool country, and let me know let me know in the comments if you live there. It's always cool to see people, especially from these smaller countries, if they watch my videos. So definitely comment below if you're from there or you've been there or whatnot. Let me know your experiences there and what you think of your country. And yeah. Please hit that like and subscribe button below, please, and thank you. And I'll catch you guys in future videos, probably tomorrow. So anyways, guys, peace, thank you, and have a good night, good day.